So you're thinking about starting a photography and cinema company, but you don't know where to start. No worries. In this video, I'm going to provide you my easy to follow top 10 checklist to starting a successful production company. Let's get into it. My friends, my family, and everyone else in between, my name is Cody Scott, and welcome to a channel that teaches you how to be successful with all that is video and photo while having fun doing it. If you're new here, feel free to consider, you don't have to, but feel free to consider hitting that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs down. Don't need the thumbs up. Just kidding. If you want to hit that thumbs up, go for it. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to give you a top 10 checklist to start a successful production company. You know, we've all been faced with that decision to start a production company or become a full-time YouTuber or do anything that is photography or cinema, but you don't really know where to start. Now, most of us start with wanting to just go out and buy the best gear, the best lenses, tripod, microphone, all that. Stop. Step number one. Do your research. Now, what do I mean by do your research? Well, you need to get to know the area that you're in. You need to get to know your gear, the people, and most importantly, the business overall. Now, photography and cinema is tricky because everybody has access to a smartphone that shoots some pretty good quality video, and everyone has access to shoot pictures on their iPhones or Android or Apple or the Cricket phone. So it's not really an issue anymore of being competitive. You basically have to set yourself apart from what it is that you're doing. What's your style? What it is that you like? What will you be filming? What will you be taking pictures of? So you need to have a rough idea of which direction you're going into, and we'll get back to that later. But if you want to do landscape photography, you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a cinema camera, right? Because what good is that going to do you? So after you have a pretty good idea of what you want to do, a decent direction of maybe being a portrait photographer or a cinematic videographer, as that term is overused nowadays, but whatever, that's another video. So you've done your research, you know what kind of gear that you want, you know relatively what you want to do. That brings us to point number 2, invest in your company. Now this is a big one. So imagine you just got a gig with Coca-Cola, right? And you show up on a set with a smartphone because you know how to take great video with a smartphone. They're not gonna take you serious, and there's a good chance you're gonna get a Coca-Cola can whipped at your forehead. You get the idea. You get the idea here. If you have great gear, you're going to get great results. If you have the best gear, you're going to get the best results. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy a cinema camera like a Red Weapon, or you need a 1DX to start or anything like that. The degree in which you are successful somewhat relies on what gear you are using. Now, you can still achieve great results with a good full-frame camera, a good stabilizer, and some good lenses. And I created a video right up here that will teach you how to get the best results for the least amount of money. So now I got a little off track here because it's easy to get lost talking about gear and everything else, but all I'm trying to say is if you want people to take you serious, you have to take yourself and your business serious by purchasing serious equipment. Which leads me to step number 3, master your craft. Commit to a lifetime of learning. You want to always be growing. You want to always be learning more about your gear, how to adjust your settings, doing everything manual so you don't have to rely on autofocus or auto white balance or auto anything really, because you can't put your business on auto. Now that'd be great if you can. I would love to put my business on auto and just drink kombucha all day and watch Netflix. I don't really watch Netflix. I think I need to hit the gym more. Ugh. I used to run marathons. I don't run marathons anymore. Just got a puppy. Having a puppy is a lifelong process of learning, I'll tell you that. Speaking of puppies, something completely unrelated, step 4, shoot for free. Now, I add a lot of emphasis for this because a lot of people say, well, I want to start the business, I want to make money. But you can't make money unless you have a portfolio. Most companies are going to ask for a portfolio, some photos or videos that represents your best work. but you can't offer them anything if you just started. So you have to build your portfolio by shooting free video and free photos for friends and family. Always remember this: free work pays off. Which leads me to my 5th point: target influencers. What the heck is an influencer, bro? Well, I'm gonna tell you what an influencer is. When you're shooting free work, you're shooting work for friends, you're shooting work for family, but how does that help you besides building up your portfolio? Now, it doesn't not necessarily not help you out. That's a double negative. Don't ever do that, by the way. So yes, you're shooting videos, you're shooting photos of your friends, but that's not ultimately scaling your business. To become successful and grow your business from the ground up, you need to target influencers because they have the most influence on a larger audience. When we were growing the company, we had a hard time getting those bigger clients. We didn't have a portfolio that scaled our business and made us look delectable. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a terrible word choice. That made us look good, basically. Which leads me to point number 6. Let your clients lead you. You might get into this business with a rough direction of wanting to become a wedding videographer or wanting to be a landscape photographer for National Geographic. Whatever it is, you want to be, insert here. Now that's great to have direction, and by all means, please have direction. But be adaptable. We started the production company with the idea that we wanted to be wedding videographers. Why? Because, well, we're in Wilmington, as I mentioned earlier, and there are a ton of wedding opportunities down here. So yes, we wanted to be wedding videographers, but we started getting more commercial clients and a lot of photo shoots for commercial companies. So what did we do? We became commercial videographers and photographers. However, when you are first starting, be adaptable. We started getting a ton of commercial clients, so that is the route we pursued. Moving on! So step number 7, setting up websites. Now there's a lot of mistakes here actually, because I've seen a lot of people wanting to start the websites first. They say, I'm going to start a production company and just start the website. Well, if you don't have any content, if you don't have a large portfolio, you don't necessarily need to pay for websites. Yes, you can find free websites and it's good to have those websites, but not when you're first starting up. Now again, I'm not saying that websites are terrible and do not do them right away. You do need websites. Instagram is great for photographers. Instagram TV is good for videographers. YouTube, great for videographers. Vimeo. And if you want to know more about which websites to use, you can actually click this link right here. It's going to take you to another video that I did on which websites work best for photographers and videographers. But this video is not about that. So let's stay on track. See me, I see you. You see me, I see you. How about you don't, Scott? Little Austin Powers reference right there. Woo. Checklist number 8. So this one is very important. Not saying that all the other ones aren't, but this one is very important. You have to network with other videographers, cinematographers, photographers, blogographers, mogographers, wogographers, jogographers, logographers, and zogographers. I could have kept that going all day. Networking with other artists that share similar interests in what you are doing is important. When you have someone in the field doing this hands-on, they have the best advice. These people can give you real-time experience tips that you can take with you right then and there and try them out that day if you want to. Now, I don't know why this is, but most photographers and videographers hang out at coffee shops. Fire the laser beam. The laser beam. Speaking about networking and connecting with people, tip number 9. Don't forget to connect emotionally with your clients. Before jumping into a project, I like to meet with these clients so we can set expectations. Now that's huge. Set the expectation of the project and you will have a successful project. This is huge for growing a business. If you can connect on an emotional level with your clients, then they're more than likely going to suggest you to one of their friends or just rehire you again for more business. Repeat business has a direct correlation with emotional connection. That sounded more scientific than it actually is. Speaking about science, Tip number 10. Now this one's important, but it's not critical, but it's important. This one is basically a psychological effect. This is pretty cool. Tip number 10. Send your client a gift after the project is finished. Can you guys see my cat over here? I think she's hungry. Now it's time to put the cherry on top of repeat business. Getting to know your client is important. Now the reason why I told you to connect with your client on an emotional level is because you get to know them to a point where you can send them a gift of their liking. It's like Inception. You're basically giving your client a gift that they're gonna use on a daily basis, so every time they see it and every time they use it, they will think of you. It's called Inception, Giftception. So there you go. That's my 10-step checklist to starting a successful production company. However, I have a bonus for you. Tip number 11, and it's the most important. Do not forget to make time for your personal life. Learn how to balance your personal life and your business. So that's all for me, guys. Thank you for watching. And if I didn't cover some information that you're looking for, please drop a comment below and I'll respond to it. I'll do my best to provide you with anything you need to be successful. If you like this video, hit that dislike button. Unsubscribe. Don't click that bell. Don't click that notification. And I'll see you guys in the next video.